Martell Holt case update has me feeling all kinds of ways. I am not exaggerating one bit. We need to sit down and really talk about what just went down, because the details are shocking, disappointing, and yet very telling about who Martell is and how he continues to operate. Now, before we get into the breakdown, make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I promise you, the way this all unfolds is not only messy, but also has huge implications for Melody, Shari, the kids, and even the rest of the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast. Trust me, you're going to want to hear every part of this. So let's start right at the heart of the matter. According to reports and comments made during a live, Martell pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. Instead of facing trial for domestic violence, the charge was reduced all the way down to harassing communications. And you might be thinking, wait, what? After everything we've heard about, this man only walked away with harassing communications? Yes, exactly that. This plea deal means he avoids trial, avoids harsher consequences, and basically walks away with a fine of just $400. Now, I need you to let that sink in, because the gravity of the original accusation compared to the outcome doesn't even begin to match. This is why so many people are outraged. Stay with me, because we're going to break down why this is a slap in the face to survivors, why it sets a dangerous example, and what it could mean for the custody battle with Melody. The most disappointing part about this entire situation is that Martell once again gets away with bad behavior. And I don't say that lightly. Think about it. Over the years, we have seen him on screen disrespect Melody, lie repeatedly, manipulate situations, and show zero accountability. Melody has shared her pain, fans have watched her try to pick up the pieces, and yet Martell finds a way to sidestep serious consequences. And now, with this case, instead of being forced to face a judge and a jury for DV charges, it's watered down to harassment, which simply doesn't carry the same weight. And if you think Martell won't use this to his advantage, you don't know Martell. Just like Maurice Scott once tried to spin his dismissed case into a narrative that made him look innocent, Martell will definitely show up on the next season of Love and Marriage, Huntsville trying to gaslight the audience. He'll probably say there wasn't enough evidence, or that it was all exaggerated, when in reality he pleaded guilty to something. It just wasn't as heavy as it should have been. Now, let's pause here, because I want you to think about how this affects Melody and the kids. This is not just about Martell walking free with a slap on the wrist. This is about the fact that Melody is in a heated custody battle with him, and the weight of a DV charge could have been huge in protecting her children. Instead, she now has to deal with a watered-down harassing communications charge, which doesn't hit nearly as hard in court. And that right there is the part that hurts. Melody has fought so hard to keep her children safe, to give them stability, to rebuild after everything she went through in her marriage. And yet the system seems to keep letting Martell off easy. This man has shown time and time again that he cannot be trusted, yet somehow he always walks away without the accountability that's needed. If you're still with me, and I hope you are, let's really unpack why this plea deal is dangerous. When a case of this magnitude gets reduced to something so small, it sends a message to survivors everywhere that their pain is not important, that what they went through can be swept under the rug, minimized, and dismissed as something minor. Imagine what it feels like for Melody to watch this play out, knowing what she has endured. Imagine what survivors watching at home feel when they see that the person accused only has to pay a small fine and gets to walk away. It's not just disappointing, it's discouraging, it's disheartening, and it shows that the laws need serious reform. And let's be real, Martell has shown us time and time again that he doesn't learn lessons easily. He doesn't take accountability. He doubles down. Remember all the times on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, when he would look Melody in the face and refuse to admit his wrongdoing. Remember when he sat with Dr. Heavenly Kimes during a crossover conversation and still tried to make himself the victim? Remember how he constantly blames everyone else? Melody, Ariane Curry, even the cast for his own actions? This is the same pattern over and over again. So, why would we believe that a $400 fine and a reduced charge is going to change him? Lady Lucy even said it best in the chat. Give him time, and he'll do it again. That's the scary part. Without real consequences, Martell will just keep repeating the same toxic cycle. Let's also talk about the impact on the show itself, because we all know Martell loves to perform for the cameras. Next season, don't be surprised if he comes in with his own version of what happened. He'll try to convince us that the plea deal proves he was innocent. He'll try to twist it into a narrative that protects his image. Meanwhile, Melody, who has been carrying the emotional weight of all of this, will have to deal with him spinning the story in front of America. And knowing the cast, you can bet Letitia Scott and Marsau Scott will have something to say. Marsau loves to throw shade when it comes to Martell, but Letitia tends to play neutral until she can't anymore. Kimmy Scott will probably try to play peacemaker, but even she can't deny how messy this is. Dr. Jackie Walters and Quad Webb from Married to Medicine have even spoken in the past about how reality stars often spin narratives to save face, and that's exactly what Martell is going to try here. But let's not forget, this is bigger than a storyline. This is real life. These are real children involved. Sugar Mama, Tank, and the rest of Melody's kids are watching all of this unfold, even if they don't fully understand it yet. Their father is being let off with what feels like nothing, and their mother is the one left picking up the pieces. Again, that is what makes this so heartbreaking. Melody has fought tooth and nail to protect them, but Martell keeps slipping through the cracks of accountability. And I need you to stay until the end of this video because I'm going to talk about how fans are reacting. And let me tell you, the reactions are powerful, and they show just how much people are standing behind Melody. Now, let's address another key part of this conversation: plea deals. I get it. Prosecutors don't want to take every single case to trial. Trials are expensive, time-consuming, and they drain resources. But there are some cases where you can't just settle, some cases where an example needs to be made. And this was one of them. Reducing something as serious as DV to harassing communications sends the exact wrong message. Imagine if someone you know went through something horrific and their abuser walked away with just a minor charge. How would you feel? Exactly. That's why fans are so upset, because this isn't about revenge, it's about justice. And justice feels like